This is a sprint conditioning workout that is designed to support favorable body composition change in the first half of your cycle. So that is your follicular and ovulatory phases. I want you to use this practice on days when you're feeling high energy and you're ready to give that maximum effort output. So today's practice, we have a 1:8 work to rest ratio. That means for every 30 seconds of work, we have 4 minutes of rest. So if you've never done a true sprint workout before, that 4 minutes of rest may seem excessive. It may seem like kind of a drag to show up to your workout and be resting for 4 minutes after every 30-second working interval. But I want you to be okay with that because you are giving everything you have to those 30-second working intervals. We have just 4 different exercises that we're moving through the sprints. We've got jump squats, we have a dumbbell sprawl and a dumbbell squat thruster, and we're finishing with mountain climbers. These are very high intensity exercises, and I want you to flirt with your maximum edge, the one where you feel like you can't possibly give any more, like you're begging for that 30-second interval to be complete. So it's the stinging in the lungs. You're going to hit that point where your body says, I want to dial back, I need to preserve. This can't go on much longer. And I want you to be able to push through that temptation because you know it's not going on much longer. You know you have 4 minutes of complete recovery on the back of that all-out effort. So when you hit that point, it's sort of a mental training exercise to keep pushing, keep reaching for that max effort output, knowing that you're going to give your body that full opportunity to recover. So we are pushing the envelope just a little bit with our sprint intervals. We'll do a 30-second interval, we'll rest for 10 seconds, and then we'll do another 30-second interval. So it's that back-to-back maximum intensity effort, and then we have 4 minutes of recovery. In that 4 minutes, I'll offer you some very low intensity dynamic movement just to help guide your heart rate back down. But you can also be just walking around your workout space. You can be in a complete recovery. Maybe you're sitting down or just standing, letting the body and the heart rate come down. I want you to use that recovery period for whatever feels best in your body. And I want you to really pay attention to how long it takes to get from that peak intensity when you actually put out that peak intensity effort, how long it takes to come back down. So this is one where I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to dig deep, and I want you to walk away with this incredible feeling of accomplishment that you can do the hard thing. You can put in that max effort output, and you will get that nice workout buzz at the end. So this one will tap your well of endorphins. You should feel that kind of tingling in the body after each sprint interval, and hopefully it will activate your energetic body, leave you feeling kind of uplifted both in mood and energy for the rest of your day. This is one you don't want to come to this peak intensity very often. So you might use it once in your follicular phase, once in your ovulatory phase, and then wait for the next cycle to try it on again. Looking to improve in your stamina, your power, your strength with each new time that you practice this workout. So again, I'll have a quick warm up at the beginning and a quick cool down at the end. And then we have those long recovery periods in between. I want you to really give it your all, dig deep, and try to uncover something new about yourself and your practice today. Let's get started. Today, we are going to be moving through a traditional sprint workout. This type of workout is where we are moving all out, max effort, as hard and fast as you can for a very short interval, followed by a very long interval of recovery. The idea is that in that longer period of recovery, you're coming all the way back down to your baseline so that you can give a maximum output in the next sprint interval. So today, we're using a ratio of 1:8. We have 4 different exercises that we are moving through in a sprint. So we'll have a 30-second interval. Again, you should be breathless. I want you to find your max effort in each of those 30-second intervals. We'll have a quick 10-second recovery, and we'll complete that interval for a second time before a 4-minute rest. Now that rest period, you can just be resting all the way. You can just walk around your workout space. You can have a seat, whatever feels like recovery for you, or you can join me in some very low and slow intensity movement to keep our heart rate down and to bring us back to that baseline before we start the next sprint. So again, we just have 4 rounds of those sprints. We'll do a jump squat, we will do a dumbbell sprawl, a dumbbell thruster, and then tried and true mountain climbers. With your dumbbells, you want it to be the heaviest weight that you can take overhead for that thruster. That'll be a good indicator of where your weight range needs to be. You want it to be challenging because you're only doing it twice and only for 30 seconds each time. I will add a warm up in the beginning and we'll have a short cool down as part of our sprint at the end, and let's get into it. So I'll start our timer. We will start our warm up in about 20 seconds. So just take some time to arrive in your workout space, maybe shake it out a little bit, shimmy and shake, take a few deep breaths, get ready to move. So our first movement pattern, we're just going to come into a nice easy squat and then add some rotation. So I really want you to pivot on the back toes as you come through that rotation. Feet are shoulder or hips width apart. Let's squat it down, rotate, take the arms straight out in front. Squat down, keep the chest lifted, and rotate. So I want you to feel some activation in the core here as you twist. Keep the shoulders over the hips, wrap the rib cage around. So we are letting that back hip twist as you pivot on the back toes. We're here just a few more seconds. We've got these 6 different exercises, just 30 seconds each to warm us up. And then we'll get ready for our hip hinge to a calf raise. So fold your body in half, come up, lift to the toes. Fold, reach the crown of the head forward, and lift. Make sure you are feeling that stretch in the glutes, but you're not leaning too far back. Hinge and come up. You got this. Fold it in half, lengthen the spine, and come up. Next up, we're going to step the feet just a little wider than hips width. Reach the arms out to T, tap opposite toes. Reach up, open the chest, and tap the opposite foot. So I want you to feel a little bit of a stretch across the chest here and the backs of the legs. We're here just about 10 more seconds, then we're going to take the feet a little bit wider in a sumo squat. So here, nothing too strenuous. We just want to be kind of bringing the body up to that working zone. Step your feet wide, sumo squat, get nice and low. Bring your hands behind your head, nice and gentle side bend. I want you to come through center, lengthen both sides of the waist as you lift and lean. Breathe in and out. Stay nice and low. Hug the heels to the midline so you feel some buoyancy in the pelvis, not collapsing through the base of the spine there. Last one. Come up, turn your toes slightly further inward. We're just coming into a side lunge with a press. So open and press. I want you to feel a stretch and then contraction in the chest. Same with the back. So we stretch and then contract. You can take this a little bit quicker by staying low and just doing the push every other rep in the legs. Last one here. Come up, feet again about hips width distance apart. Standing T-twist, we're just going to rotate, come back through center and rotate. Keep the hips square this time, so we're letting the feet stay facing forward. And after this, we'll have about a 30-second transition before our first sprint. So you should be feeling a little bit warm, heart rate just slightly elevated here. So your jump squat, you can take it high impact. That's going to be the quickest way to get to your maximum intensity, where you squat down and then jump up. If you're wanting to keep it low impact, you're squatting out to the side, tapping the floor, and then reaching up onto the toes as fast as you can, as hard as you can. We're going to move in 15 seconds. Again, this should push you to your limit for those 2 30-second intervals. Let's get ready. I want you to be breathless so you won't hear many cues from me. We're going to work as hard as we can. Here we go. Let's begin. Find that power. Move fast. It's only 30 seconds. How fast, how high, how powerfully can you move? Feel that strength in the legs. You should be very ready for that 10-second interval at the end. Go all out for 5 more seconds. And rest. Shake it out. You should be breathless. Let's get ready. We're going to do it once more. 2 and 1. Here we go. You might find a little bit of a decrease in the output, but I want you to give it as much as you have. We're only doing this twice, so you can do anything for that short burst. I want you to feel that burn in the legs. Keep it up. Stay with it. And rest. Walk it out. Breathe. That was our first sprint down. Now you know what that effort feels like, and we only have to do that 3 more times. So this is our 4-minute recovery period. You should be breathless. It should be hard. You're getting just 1 word out at a time. We're going to start with just a standing rotation here. I want you to feel that burn, that residual heat in the lungs, heat in the legs. We're just standing and rotating. We've just got 4 very low intensity exercises to help us cool down all the way. Our goal is to lengthen the exhales and let the body recover fully. Maybe your legs are shaking a little bit. You should feel a little bit of that buzz that comes with high intensity like that. Next up, nice and easy side lunge. Here we go. Keep it high. Doesn't have to be too deep. The goal with this recovery movement is that it's low intensity, feels like recovery. So we don't want to be moving too fast or too far down in these side lunges. Just nice and easy so that it gives you that little bit of dynamic movement for recovery. Those intervals were intense. They were supposed to be. You can even add a little bit of arms here just to facilitate that breath. Try not to close off the chest. Our next sprint interval starts in about 2 more minutes. So you can be with me in this nice easy side lunge, or you can be walking around your workout space. You can be sitting down. I want you to turn the toes out, heels in. We're going to add some breath. Inhale and exhale nice and slow. As slowly as you can, drop into that squat. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen the out breath. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Got about 1.5 minutes more, so just check in. Maybe you're taking a look at your heart rate to see where you are. We want to come all the way back down. So if your heart rate is still very elevated, you can always hit the pause button and wait until it comes all the way down before you start your next sprint. Our next sprint, we're going to use the dumbbells. It's going to be a dumbbell sprawl. So I'll walk you through that here in a few more moments. Should be heavy dumbbells, something that is going to challenge your legs and lungs. Next up, simple forward bend. We're going to reach the arms up, keep the feet wide, turn the toes slightly in, heels slightly out. I want you to keep your head level with your heart and hips. Here you might just kind of slide side to side. You might even add a little twist, lifting the right arm up and then the left. I'm only going to be in this one for about 30 seconds so I can have some time to walk you through so you can stay in this forward bend. I'm going to come up and demonstrate the dumbbell sprawl. So your weight will be to either side of your foot. We start in a standing position. You come down, step or hop the feet to plank, and then step or hop the feet forward. Come all the way up to stand with the weights. You are moving as hard and as fast as you can. So you want to get as many possible reps in this 30-second interval. We move in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn it up. So you are moving those feet, whether you're stepping or jumping back. You're moving them as quickly as possible. You're driving with power through the legs, lifting that weight against gravity. Try not to experience that dip in output. I want you to push through it for the full 30 seconds. It's 2 and 1. Drop the weight, 10 seconds. Rest, recover, come back in for another 30 seconds. Here we go. You're breathless. 2 and 1. Take it back and lift it up. Power through the legs. As you come down, heart, belly, chest to the thighs. Find that strong plank position. So I know you feel that diminishing output. Can you push through that sensation, that tendency, and keep the intensity high? Keep the effort maxed out. 2 and 1. Set those weights down and breathe. Again, you can only get a word or 2 out at a time here. The intensity is high. Take a walk around your workout space. And then we'll come into a few cooling movements. So our first one, we're going to walk out the sprawl. So we're going to take the hands down, step back into a downward dog, bend the knees, bring the hips to the heels, and then walk it forward up to stand. Switch the leg you lead with, step it back, downward dog lunge position, step it forward, and rise up. I want this to be as slow as possible. We're just allowing the body to move, to keep that circulation flowing so that we don't get any energy stuck, any buildup of lactic acid. So this is part of our recovery. Last one. After this, we are coming into downward dog once again. This time, stretching up and back for a breath. Then letting the knees touch down. Inhale to cow pose, full breath. Exhale, find your downward dog. So again, you can be walking around your mat. You can be resting completely, maybe sitting down or standing up. But I want it to be low intensity for the full 4-minute interval. You should have been pushing so hard that you might still feel a little bit of that rush, that buzz from the hard work. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring the knees down, straighten, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Next up, we are going to move through our inchworm. So from downward dog, just walk the hands to the feet, slowly roll up, reach the arms overhead, and then take it back down. Walk the hands out to either downward dog or your plank. Downward dog feels really good to me right now, so I'll be taking that option. Walking it out here and back in. Reach those arms up. So we have about 1.5 minutes more of recovery. So just check in. If you still have a long way to come down from that peak intensity, maybe you're adding a 5th minute to your recovery. I'd rather you wait longer and be fully recovered before we come into the next sprint interval. The next one, probably the most challenging exercise. So be ready for that. Walk it out. Plank or down dog and come back in. This time we're going to stay all the way up. Nice and easy standing side bend. So bring one hand to your hip, opposite arm up and overhead. Breathe in and out. Let's switch sides, reach it up and over. Nice and easy side bend here. Inhale, come up through center. Press your palms in opposite directions. Nice standing T-twist. You can bring the feet a little bit closer together. Keep those hips square. And then to the other side. So you can keep alternating sides in the standing twist. I'll demonstrate the thruster. I'm going to do it without weight because I want every ounce of energy for the sprint. So feet are shoulder width, maybe slightly wider. Weight is at the shoulders, elbows are in. We squat it down and press overhead with some power. That's the thruster. You can always alternate sides in the arms if it's just not sustainable, but I want it to feel hard for the full 30 seconds. Here we go. Take it down, push up, down, push up. Keep the spine neutral, drive through the heels. So as soon as you get to the top, you're coming right back down. There's no pause, there's no break. Just max effort, output, all the way down, all the way up. You are moving that heavy load a long distance from that low squat all the way overhead, and rest. That one should zap your energy. Come on, let's go. Second round, down and up. So again, feel that temptation to decrease the output. Feel that temptation to slow it down. But you know you're not here for long. You know you can dig a little deeper. You got this. 10 more seconds. Feel that burn through the legs, the arms, the lungs. And rest. It should be challenging to breathe, challenging to talk. Your heart rate is maxed out. 160, 170, 180. Not unheard of for these sprint intervals. So walk around a little bit, get through that initial transition from the highest intensity. Then we're going to bring the feet nice and wide. Whew. Definitely feeling that burning in the lungs. So we're coming back to our first recovery. Same exercises here. Just a standing rotation. Maybe reaching. Opposite arm out to the side. So again, feel, experience, really stay open to that rush that comes. It's a short burst, but it is everything you have. You can only do a few of these. 4 is on the higher end. You can do probably as many as 6, maybe even 8 if you have longer recovery of those short burst intervals. But you need that longer recovery ratio. Next up, just an easy side lunge here if you wish, side to side. So again, our recovery interval 1 to 8. So we have that 30-second sprint and then 4 minutes. So 8 times as long to recover. Heart rate might still be up there. That's okay. Maybe you're reaching the arms out to open the chest here. Again, you're not coming super deep into that side lunge. Nice and easy. We've got about 15 more seconds, then we'll add some breath here, some conscious focused breath to bring the heart rate down to lengthen the exhales. We'll turn the toes out, heels in. Reach the arms up, inhale. And then nice and slow, exhale, drop into your squat. So your sprint days, they're going to be mostly recovery. It's going to be those short, super intense bouts of work, followed by long and low intensity recovery. Reach up, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, reach, and exhale. So I finally start to feel my heart rate coming back down to something a little bit more like a baseline. Still elevated, still around 130, so not all the way down by any means. It's amazing when you truly give that max effort output, how long it takes the body to recover fully so that you can come back fresh. We've got 1 more minute of recovery here. I want you to turn your toes out, toes in, heels out, and fold over the legs. Again, keeping the heart level with the head level with the heart and hips. And just kind of swaying side to side. You can maybe add a twist again. We've got just about 35 more seconds before we come into our final sprint. Yes, the last one, it's mountain climbers. So you can start to come up nice and easy. We're going to be in a plank position. I want you to go all out with these. Run those legs as fast as you possibly can for the full 30 seconds. You want your shoulders over your wrists. We want to close the gap between hip points and low ribs, stretch the heart forward. So we've got that strong spinal position the entire way through. It's going to help you so that you don't leak any energy through the spinal alignment. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds. As fast as you can. Run those legs. Arms are steady and strong. The legs are moving. How fast can you go? Pick up the pace. It's just 30 seconds. The belly strong. You've got just 10 more seconds. Run it out. Faster. Stronger. More power. Here you go. And 2, 1. Rest. So you should be gasping for air. 5 more seconds. And we go again. It's just 30 seconds. Let's begin. Fast legs. Run it out. Last 30 seconds. Give it everything you have. This is one time where I want you to leave it all on the mat. Faster. Pick up the pace. Don't drop off that effort. 10 more seconds. Breathe. Faster, faster. And 3, 2, 1. Come out. You should be panting, breathing heavily. You should feel that burn in the lungs, in the legs, in the shoulders. Take just a few breaths here. Try to slow that breath down. So resist the urge to amplify the activation by over hyperventilating. So I want you to consciously slow the breath down. I have a tendency to do that after high intensity, to just breathe. You're just wanting the air. But can you make that conscious effort to slow down? Only when you're ready. Find your downward dog. Step one foot, then the other. Rise to stand. We're back to that walking sprawl. So just transitioning from downward dog to a standing position. You crushed that. You are capable of doing the hard thing. And rise to stand. Stay in your downward dog next. As you inhale, lower the knees to the mat, tabletop. Cow pose, stretch the spine, shine the sitting bones back. Exhale back to downward dog. So still breathing pretty heavily here. Inhale, cow. Lengthen the spine, gaze up. Exhale, downward dog. Roll the spine up and back. So it's amazing. We did a total of 4 minutes of work and 16 minutes of low intensity recovery. But it should still feel like you got that full workout, maybe even a little bit more, because your max effort, when you truly hit that max effort, it is whole body energy demand. So many of us work at high intensities, but very rarely do we hit that peak effort like we did today. We're going to slowly walk the hands to the feet now and rise up, reach overhead, and exhale back down. Walk it out, either downward dog or plank, and then walk the hands back. This is the benefit of sprint training, is you allow yourself to push against that high intensity threshold and go to where you feel like you can't give even one more ounce of energy. And then we let the body recover all the way. So you wouldn't be able to do that max effort for very much longer than we did today without a significant recovery period. Walk it back. We've got about 10 more seconds, maybe one more inchworm here. And then we'll come all the way up to standing. Reach, side bend, bring one hand to your hip, opposite arm overhead. Switch sides. We've got about one more minute of this recovery here. Standing twist is next. And then we will enter our cool down. You can stay in that standing twist. I'm going to fix my mat here. It definitely moved around a little bit after those sprint intervals. So we are coming into our cool down in about 30 seconds. So you're still in your standing twist, standing side bend here. Breathing, coming back down to that baseline. So again, either standing side bend or rotating the spine, nice and easy. I want you to take your feet a little bit wider than hips width now. Bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Reach the arms nice, straight and strong, knuckles toward the floor. Feel that stretch across the chest. And then as you exhale, fold halfway. So I want you to just test the waters here with the head level with the heart and hips. Shift the weight into the ball mounds of the feet, and then maybe fold all the way. Reach the knuckles toward the sky. Weight is shifting forward. Got about 5 more seconds here. And then we're coming into our lizard lunge on the right side. Start to walk it over. Find that deep lizard lunge. Shift the shin forward. Come onto the top of the back thigh. If you want, you can even press that front thigh down and forward as you lean up and away. Feel that length in the back hip flexor. We're here just 10 more seconds. You might arc the spine up and back as you're coming onto the top of that back thigh. And then we'll let the hands frame the foot. Keep the back hip sliding over that back knee and straighten the front leg any amount, runner's lunge. Send your heart toward your big toe. Try not to lean too far back. So again, your hip kind of stops at the alignment right over the back knee. You might even reach to the right side, bring both hands to the outside of your right foot, but keep that right foot pointing straight up. Last 3, 2, and 1. Nice and easy transition to lizard lunge on the left side. So left foot is forward. Come onto the top of that back thigh. Let the hips lower with gravity. And then you have the option of taking the hands to that left thigh, pressing down and forward as you lift the spine up and back. Shoulders stay relaxed. Feel separation between the thigh bones, but then magnetize the front heel, back thigh together so you have that buoyancy in the pelvis. Let your hands frame your foot, slide the hips back over that back knee, straighten the front leg any amount. Send your heart toward your big toe, soften and fold. Heart rate should be just about back down to normal. Now that we're nearing the end of our cool down, again, you might reach to the left side of your left foot now. Keep those toes facing straight up. Square the hips, feel a little bit of a twist. Stretch in the outer leg. And we'll come back through center, both knees to the back. Walk your hands out. Bring the palms to touch, forearms down, puppy pose. So hips are over the knees, soften heart, belly, chest toward the thighs. Lengthen the sides of the waist. Feel a stretch under the armpits. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Really let go to gravity here. Broaden the sitting bones. Shine them up and back. And nice and slowly start to come out. We will step the feet to the hands here. And then nice and slowly walk the hands up to the knees. Feel this hinge position. Maybe wiggling the hips just side to side. A little bit of cat and cow. Just releasing any residual sensation that might be lingering from the practice. And then slowly come up to standing. Let's enjoy a huge breath together. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, sigh it out. I want you to celebrate yourself today for really exploring that maximum effort output. This is a challenging practice. This is one that you might do in your follicular phase and your ovulatory phase, but it's reserved for those high energy times in the cycle when you're well resourced. It takes everything you have to show up with that maximum intensity effort, and you did that today. So really celebrate yourself. Keep this one in your back pocket. It's a great one to support body composition change. It'll give you that metabolic boost. You might feel this buzz for several hours after the workout. I want you to refuel as part of your recovery, high quality protein within 30 minutes of finishing out this workout, because it was that high energy demand and you need to top off the tank. So thank you for showing up, for putting in this hard work, and for letting your body be moved.